predicting head-to-head matchups for Seattle Supercross, and this video is brought to you by NextBets, where you guys can play all of the 450 matchups. All you have to do is go down to the link in the description below, nextbets.com/playdnx to play. All right, so let's jump right into our first matchup. It's Haiden Deegan versus Cole Davies. And Doc, did you know that Haiden Deegan has beaten Cole all 6 rounds this year?
Yeah,
that kind of feels crazy.
Not this round, okay? This is the one where it turns around, I believe.
Yeah, I can't, like, going back and like thinking about it, I did not expect him to have beaten him every single round. I thought there was a round that Cole beat him, but I was thinking about Glendale when he won 2 out of the 3 races, but he didn't actually beat him in the overall. I think it's still going to be Haiden Deegan this week. I think Deegan goes 7 for 7, but
it's supposed to be like a mutter too, right?
Yeah, and so I mean they already have the tarps over the track.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think Deegan does it again. He's on a roll. Like I just don't know who can beat Deegan right now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna say Cole. I have no idea how Cole does in the rain. I mean, none of us do, right? We've never seen Cole in the mud like that. I mean, unless you've been watching him over in the New Zealand, which is, I think, the Canada of Australia, but same thing. Anyway, yeah, I have no idea how he's gonna do, but we're gonna go with Cole, I believe, brother.
Okay, but going into our next matchup, Julien Beaumer versus Joe Shimoda, and the stats on this: 3-3 out of 6 races. So kind of,
that's surprising.
Yeah. But you got to think about it. Joe won first round. Juju had a couple bad rounds with the shoulder, and Joe's actually looked better in the last 2 rounds. And this also includes that East-West showdown where Joe actually did better than him, right? So
yeah, Joe does look really good right now.
That's what I'm saying,
well,
bro.
I mean, like the last time we saw him, he looked really good. He's got a couple weeks off, you know what I'm saying? Joe might be trouble this week for everybody.
Yeah, I think so as well, and that's why I have Joe beating Julien this weekend.
I mean, I gotta go against you then, right? We gotta go Juju on top then, right? Juju on top.
Okay? Is his shoulder gonna be okay?
Yeah, a couple weeks off, he's chilling. You know, it ain't nothing but a thing.
I hope. But
I mean,
yeah,
I have no idea what it is, but
I was very surprised that it's 3-3 out of the 6 rounds, because I thought Julien like dominated him in the beginning when Joe got hurt, but it was only a couple rounds. So very, very surprising. But what about Coty Schock versus Michael Mosiman? Coty Schock has beaten him 4 out of the 6 rounds this year, which is very surprising. Very surprising, because Michael has been really good as of late, but he has those weird moments where he gets outside of the top 10 a couple of times, right? And then he has weird moments where he shows speed and he does like extremely well, you know? So, but Coty, on the other hand, has been just consistent.
I mean, I feel like you got to go Coty on that.
I want to agree with you. However, I'm going to go Michael Mosiman. I think Michael does get the job done this weekend. He had that off week from the East-West showdown where he didn't do that well. And I think he comes out swinging and he does better at Seattle, and he just beats Coty straight up. Now, our next matchup is a matchup that I put on this list because I wasn't quite sure who to put up against Jordon Smith. And I went with Jordon Smith versus Garret Marchbanks. And now I feel like this is kind of unfair because Jordon has dominated Garret all year long. However, Jordon is coming back from an injury. I don't know how well. Yeah, so he's racing this weekend. So, like, I don't know how well he's going to do. And Garret is kind of doing much better. The stats say Jordon is 4 out of 6, but he's missed 2 rounds. So it's really 4 out of 4 that he's raced.
Yeah, you got to go Jordon.
I think you have to go Jordon, right?
However,
I'm going Garret Marchbanks. How well do you think Jordan's going to race after that crazy crash?
Probably great, to be honest. I mean, he was doing fine until it was Jordon versus the whoop section. I mean, he did that twice. So if it's a mutter, they're not blitzing the whoops. You know, he's not going to crash.
I feel like they also are going to tame down the track if it is a complete mutter.
Yeah, they've already started making track changes from the track map.
Yeah. Well then, yeah, Jordon might get. I'm not switching up. Garrett's going to get the job done. All right, he's going to get the job done. Now, moving on to our 450 classes, we have our first matchup: Malcolm Stewart versus AP, the guys that got on the podium last week.
This is also an easy one.
Okay, hold up. What do you think the stats are for these guys right now?
Stats schmats, bro. I'm gonna say, what? How many rounds has there been?
10.
We're gonna go. AP's beat him 3 times.
You'd be very surprised here. 5-5.
Really?
But you got to think about how good AP's been riding as of late, right?
Well, and Mookie though. Mookie's kind of ripping right now.
Well, he is definitely like ripping, but besides last week, the couple weeks prior to that, he wasn't ripping, right? So then AP kind of got an advantage there.
Here's what you need to know is it's a mutter, okay? Seattle, it's going to be wet, it's going to be moist, and AP is going to win the race. All right? He's not going to get second, he's not going to get third. Just like these Welch's fruit snacks, he's going to be at the top step of the podium. He's going to win. I think there's still one in there. There's not.
Okay, random. I got Malcolm Stewart.
Well, that's because you're a hater.
No, I'm definitely not a hater, man. I have Malcolm Stewart beating him. Malcolm looks super good, but AP looks good. That's a really good matchup to watch, bro. Like, I think it's whoever gets a start. I really do. Whoever gets that start is going to win that race or beat each other.
If it was dry, I would say, yeah, those two are like kind of equal right now. Dude, if it's a mutter, if it's wet and sloppy and the ruts are deep, dude, it's AP, bro.
I guess you're right.
What do you mean? You put AP up against anyone in the ring.
Besides Chase, go to San Fran.
It would be Chase, Barcia, or AP when it's a mutter. That's it.
That is true. That is very true. I'll give you that, but I'm still going Malcolm.
Webb ain't doing nothing in the rain. Okay, it's kind of leaking the future, but...
All right, moving on. All right, so our next matchup, Jason Anderson versus Justin Barcia. And Jason has beaten him 7 out of the 10 rounds this year. And I am going to go Jason Anderson. He was on the struggle bus at Birmingham. Let's be real. Horrible race for him. However,
but he was ripping.
He was ripping. He had great starts. And I think he can just beat Justin straight up. Like this entire year, I think he can beat him straight up. He's had some weird races, yes. But Jason definitely gets it done at Seattle. I'm guaranteeing it.
But what did I just say? If it's a mutter, Chase Sexton, only if he flinches and gets a crazy hole shot. Okay, that was like the luckiest start of his life. Calm down, Chase. It really was. It's AP, Chase, or Justin Barcia when it's wet. So
I don't think so.
Chase Anderson's from New Mexico.
Yeah, but still. I would love to know what Jason's stats are at Seattle because of how the track forms up. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Or just in like mutters, I'd be interested. Jason also strikes me as the guy that like he's kind of like doesn't care anymore. You know, I mean, like he cares, but like there's a certain point in the race where he's just like, yeah, you know, whatever. You know, and a mutter, I feel like that can happen real quick.
Yeah, but Jason's winning that matchup, bro. Jason's winning that match, guaranteed. No more debating. All right, moving on to our next matchup. And this one's kind of interesting to see what happens. It's Ken Roczen versus Justin Cooper. And now stats say Ken Roczen should dominate this matchup. He's won 8 out of the 10 times. But he is hurt. And Jay Cooper has the ability to get really great starts. And if this is a mud race for Ken Roczen, that shoulder is going to be tough to handle. So, yeah,
but I think unfortunately,
if Jay Coop gets a start, I don't think that Roczen can actually manage that entire race in that like crazy mud. If it's crazy mud, I think if Jay Coop gets a start, he beats him.
I mean, he's beat him 8 out of the 10 times. Is what you said?
8 out of 10 times, and one of those times was Tampa.
Yeah, and one of them was Tampa. We should ban the privateers. And yeah, okay, yeah. And then you're adding moisture, brother.
When it's right, when I get that right, I'm gonna just say it. I told you so. All right, moving on. Next matchup. This one's kind of, I wouldn't say kind of interesting. Kind of just want to see what happens with this one. But Christian Craig versus Justin Hill. We really don't have a lot of info on Craig.
Did you come up with this?
I did, because I wanted to throw Craig in there. He didn't do that well at Birmingham. I predicted him as 7th. Don't mind me. But Justin Hill, he's also didn't do that well, right? He had a good start in the first race, but he was like, I think it was 10th overall or something like that. So, I mean, they're right there in the standings, I think they're 9 through 12 right now, because Justin Hill hasn't really showed much as of late. However, Christian Craig's second race back, I'm gonna go with Craig. I think he gets it done. I don't know how. I really don't, because Justin Hill is definitely the better rider right now because he's had all year to race. But Craig somehow gets it done.
We'll go with Justin Hill because he's raced the whole year, and then now we're going to mud. Although the mud could definitely be an equalizer. You know what I mean? Great movies with Denzel Washington, but it could just kind of center everything. And maybe Craig has had a good week, and I mean, I would love to see Craig just go out there in top 5 or something.
As I mentioned in like our predictions video from last week, he's had plenty of time on the bike, right? He's been on the bike for 6 weeks, so he has time, and he just got his first race out of the way. He's going to have more confidence going into next week. It doesn't matter if it's raining, it's muddy. He's still going to have more confidence going into this week, right? And so I think that's the reason why he gets it done. Maybe even puts it in the top 7 again. Or not again, but maybe
not
he puts
again.
it in the top
Okay,
7.
calm down. But he's rewriting history.
But I think he gets it done. All right, moving on to our last matchup of the day here. And we got Chase Sexton versus Cooper Webb. And now Cooper Webb has beaten him 6 out of the 10 rounds. So it's getting a little bit closer for Chase. It's almost half. It's almost half. But I want to ask what you have for this. I think I already know, but
Chase?
You have Chase?
It's mud?
That is very true. You've been harping on that all video.
Let's remember that San Francisco was the luckiest start in history, right? Like, let's not forget that. It wasn't as dominant as people think. However, he did kind of body everybody that race.
He did.
It was a great ride.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I can't go with Cooper Webb. I'm a Chase guy.
You can't go with Cooper Webb in mud.
With that being said, I got to flip my hat backwards because that's what's going to happen. It's a new vibe. He's going to do great. He's going to get a amazing start just like San Fran, and he's going to go out there and dominate. He might have a perfect weekend qualifying heat race main event. All I'm saying, new vibe for Chase. He looks great. He looks happy, and I think he gets it done once again. You also agree. So
I agree. I don't think he's going to win, but I think he'll beat Coop. I mean, Coop, it depends on how wet, right? Like if it's tacky and real sticky and like San Diego was last year, I think Coop could do better than Chase. If it's like a true mudder where it's water on the track, sloppy, I don't see Cooper Webb. I don't know that I've ever seen Cooper Webb do well in that. I mean, and I could be wrong, chat. You know, I know you guys got your encyclopedia of every little detail ever. I'm here just, raw dogging this. I don't think I've ever seen Cooper Webb do like super, super good in those conditions.
I will have to agree with you. And then going back to last year too, same matchup here last year came down to the last corner. So I kind of expect something similar for this year. Mm-hmm. If it is a similar track from last year, and what I mean by that is just like if there's not like crazy rain or anything, it was super ruddy and stuff, but I think there's gonna be a lot of a lot of rain this week. I tried to be fancy, it didn't work. There's gonna be a lot of rain this weekend. So
I was homeschooled too.
But with that being said, those are our matchups. Let us know in the comment section below who you guys have winning all of these. We would love to see them. We're gonna have our predictions out tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for all the love on all of these videos, and we'll be back here tomorrow. So we're out. Peace.